Why don't you come on down to Mantiques and meet some friends of mine?
Good evening and welcome to this very special episode of Live at Mantiques with me, Diego. This is the St. Patrick's Day special, and St. Patrick's Day is a very important holiday to me because I'm clearly Irish. It's very easy to tell.
And I'm 100% Italian, so it's perfect.
Right?
We're right there.
Right there.
We're in the wheelhouse.
Right. With me today I have Mr. Dave Vittone, and let's just kick this off.
All right.
How you doing?
Don't kick too high, though.
All right.
Well, you wouldn't have to with me. So, you're right over here.
I've been practicing my high kicks as a
Breezy.
martial artist.
Makes a breeze. You are a martial artist. You're quite competent, too. I've seen you go.
Thank you.
It looks painful.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So I've known you as Dave the Sound Man for a long time, but I don't know how you got into music.
My grandfather, Peter Vittone, had an orchestra in the 20s and 30s. He was in the Army, the U.S. Army band in World War I, and he had an orchestra for years. And there's my dad became his lead saxophone player when he was 16 years old in like 1936. They toured eastern seaboard from the Mississippi to the Atlantic Ocean back in the 20s, 30s, and 40s. So there's that. It's in the family.
Yeah.
Okay. I was born much later than that, so I don't have any memories of that. I have some stories, but yeah, they're good stories.
And the projects you've been playing with recently, can you talk a bit about those? Or like,
Yeah.
What have you been doing over the last year?
Last year?
The last year.
I'll tell you what happened to me. Last night, I'm pacing back and forth in the kitchen because, it's a Friday night, of course, there's no gigs. I'm pacing back and forth in the kitchen, and I realized the first time in a year I was bored. It took a year.
A whole year.
So I've been busy. I've been building handrails in my house, welding and building handrails, and working. I'm an electrician by trade, so I'm still in the trade. I still do a little bit here and there. I'm close to retirement age. That's a lie. Very close to retirement age.
All right.
And microscopically close to retirement age. So, because I keep my hand up. Musically, I've done a couple of podcasts in the past year, different places. One with my rock and roll band, F-Bomb, if I can say that. It's not really swearing. And with the Gobshites, I play with these guys, the Irish band, Gobshites from Boston. Crazy. Cool. So they call it acoustic Celtic core. It's
acoustic Celtic core.
It's punk songs done in Irish style and Irish songs done in a punk style. The lead singer, Peter Walsh, fronted a band for years called Meat Depressed. It's a seminal punk band in the Boston area, back in the day. So yeah, and he was an A&R guy in the record business before the record business went belly up, 20 years ago. So he's closely associated with like Black 47, and as a matter of fact, we just did with the Gobshites. They did there's a 30th anniversary of Black 47's first album, and some of the bands are doing covers of the tune, like a compilation covers of the tunes on that album for like not a memorial, but tribute kind of thing, for Black 47. So yeah, been busy. It's all right.
Yeah.
I ran sound for you guys.
What?
I ran sound for you guys out in the field.
Yeah.
And the electric kazoo was the loudest thing you've ever heard in your life. It was fantastic.
It's pretty sweet.
Oh, no, I said, I've got to turn the kazoo down, test it.
Yeah.
Okay, it works. And I'm sitting down across the field, and it comes time for the kazoo solo, and it's the loudest thing I've ever heard. I actually did this. No, the audience deserves it. They deserve to hear it. So I just sat back with that. It's perfectly.
It's rather great. I was just grooving along. Everybody's taking a solo. My guitar. This is with my band, Born for Blues. We were doing the Valley Music Showcase out in Southampton, and my guitarist Austin, he takes a solo. My key player, Simon, he takes a solo. The bass, there's a bass and drums kind of break down there. And then to wrap the solo section up, because this is our last tune, we really wanted to make sure we were very different from everyone else. So I whipped out my trusty electric kazoo. And I think that's probably my main instrument. I play that better than any other instrument I play.
Supernatural.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
You're crazy.
It's the best thing ever.
Run it straight through an envelope and bam.
And I'm listening to it as a keyboard player, not just an accordion player. As a keyboard player, you know, I grew up with Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and King Crimson, and Yes, and, you know, Deep Purple, you know, great keyboard players, and, you know, Keith Emerson, you know, John Lord from Deep Purple, and Rick Wakeman, of course. And the kazoo trumps all.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Bravo. Ow. Okay, go ahead.
You're funny, Bill?
Yeah, got it good.
Right,
Got it
right,
good.
yeah. Oh, and so this was something I realized a while ago. So you're a decent Zappa fan, right? I too am a rather
I
large Zappa fan.
understand this. I've heard your recordings, like
Yeah.
tribute type stuff. It's
yeah.
great.
And I heard you went to a Zappa show in '84.
Many Zappa
Yeah,
shows.
Many Zappa shows.
Yeah.
However, I believe you went to a show in New York City.
Yep.
In '84.
1984.
And I believe that is both an official Zappa release on disc
It is.
and a DVD.
It is.
Yeah.
I'm in that audience for
That's
that show.
just pretty crazy.
It's fantastic. We were on concerts on the pier on the west side, right next to the Intrepid, the aircraft carrier. Right there. It's right there. It's beautiful concerts. Great show. Not so loud. There's a noise requirement. I guess they had to keep it under whatever 100 decibels or something. Chad Wackerman on drums, and I really don't remember the rest of the band.
Yeah.
Ike Willis.
Yeah, Ike
Yeah.
was there. Yeah.
And
I'm trying to think.
Keys.
Scott Tunis.
yes, Tunis, definitely
Yeah.
Tunis. Definitely Tunis. Zappa was
Yeah.
interesting,
Yeah.
to say the least. And he does that thing where people stand up and cheer, and he goes, sit down, you bought the seats.
Yeah.
So only Zappa concerts do I get to actually
Yeah.
sit in a seat that I paid a
Right.
ticket for. It's great. And, you know, God rest, of course, but,
Yeah.
you know, great talent. So on the way back from the concert, there's little push carts, food.
Yeah.
It's probably 1 o'clock in the morning. Go up to get a soda from the guy, you know, buy a soda right here, right? And the guy walks up drunk and puts his beer on the edge of the little cart, and it falls over into my sneakers. Full beer, 32 ounces, big sploosh. And I go, hey, look, beer. Typical New York apology. He goes, if you wasn't standing there. He just turns and walks away. Great. 84, that's a long time ago, brother. How old were you in 1984? Negative what?
Negative. 19? Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, Zappa. Yeah, Zappa's great.
Yeah, and you did that. You did sound for my Zappa tribute a
That
few
was
years
also
ago.
very cool. It's also
Yeah,
very cool.
I'm hoping to do another one sometime soon when things open back up again.
That'd be great.
So yeah,
Very great. Include me in,
definitely.
you know.
Yeah. So I'll ask you another question now.
Please.
Because that's how interviews work.
Okay.
So, do you have a very, 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 very bad gig experience, either as a sound man or a musician, that you would like to share today? I'm sure you have many.
A bad gig experience. This is a record. This cast is. Are there language limitations?
Yes, to some degree.
So I'm in a wedding band. We're in the corner. Next to the fireplace like this. Small little venue, and the tables are crowded up against us, right? Four tops, four people. And we're playing a song. Dun, 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 say the neon lights on Broadway. Dinner music. Dun, 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 dun. The bass player passes wind louder than the band.
That's great.
Louder than the band. And then he looks at us like, what did you guys do? Of course, you're deadpan, right?
Yeah.
And I'm back there, we're dying laughing. And then the aroma. So
Yeah.
the drummer and I, we got a door right here, we just
Yeah.
go, bye, and we scoot out the door. So it's a bass player and a guitar player. And the people here, in the first table, they look at each other, hats, coats, stand up, out the door, gone.
Wow.
They left.
Yeah.
Drove them out.
Oh.
Fabulous. That's not a negative experience for me, that's a positive.
it's a positive one for you, but yeah, thank you so much for sharing.
Okay, I'm sorry. I mean, that's the first one that came to mind.
Oh, no, that's, I love hearing stories.
Clean,
like
that's a
this.
clean one.
A clean one, yeah. We'll make the R-rated version. To pay to get that one.
Oh, yeah,
All right,
pay-per-view.
all right. What say we jam on a tune?
That'd be cool. I
All
brought
right.
my agony box.
The Agony Box.
Oh, it's locked up.
It's locked up.
I gotta unlock
but
it. I gotta unlock it. What's the password? What's the password?
Try 1, 2, 3, 4.
Got it.
Worked.
Fantastic.
All right. We'll see you in just a second. And we're back after that amazing interview we totally just had. we're gonna play some music for
I
you.
can't tell those stories again. I can't tell those stories again. Only once.
All right.
I'm only gonna tell that story once.
All right. We're gonna play some music for you.
Yeah.
What tune are we playing?
This is called "If I Ever Leave This World Alive" by Flogging Molly. It's probably my favorite Irish band.
All right.
Yeah. So that's
Sweet. Cool.
mind that tempo there, brother. If I ever leave this world alive, I'll thank you for the things you did in my life. If I ever leave this world alive, I'll come back down and sit beside your feet tonight. Wherever I am, you'll always be more than just a memory. If I ever leave this world alive, if I ever leave this world alive, I'll take on the sadness that I left behind. If I ever leave this world alive, the madness that you feel will soon subside. So in a word, don't shed a tear. I'll be here when it all gets weird. If I ever leave this world alive. So when in doubt, just call my name just before you go insane. If I ever leave this world, oh, I'll never leave this world. If I ever leave this world alive. She says I'm okay, I'm all right. But you have gone from my life. You said it would. Now everything should be alright. She says I'm okay, I'm alright. But you have gone from my life. You said it would. Now everything should be alright. Be alright. It'll be alright. It's gonna be alright, folks. Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much for coming here, Dave Vittone, ladies and gentlemen. We will catch you next time. Ka-chow.
Why don't you come on down to Mantiques and meet some friends of mine?